city of Union City, a cosmopolitan city where almost all of us have seen each other. We are like a large family that through the management of our representatives, they help our citizens. And our people do volunteer work because they know that the city is run by a mayor who has shown that he is not the common politician, but that he works for his community. This program is an extension of information, where we are going to have participation of personalities from the public and private sectors so that they can keep us informed of the community. May that be educational activities and everything that benefits us.
Good evening, Union City, the Dream City, as every Sunday 7 p.m. here in Union City, New Jersey, United States, we have this program which is very informative, it's very educational, and every Sunday we have a very special guest about education, about sports, music, anything that could educate Union City community, the Dream City. And tonight we have a very special guest, my friend, a young person, very dedicated to, what he does, college, church, family, what a young person do every day. Tonight we have my friend, Jesus Peña. Thank you for passing by the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey. I know that you very busy with college and, all the activities that you do. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Very good. I'm going to be asking you questions about what you do. And this program is especially about music or art or extracurricular activities that students, should do as part of their professional career and as part of the social life that we live now. Jesus, can you tell the community, Union City, the Dream City, about your background, what college are you attending, what school did you attend when you were younger?
So I am 21 years old. I'm in college. I go to Ramapo College of New Jersey. I'm a nursing major. I'm in my third year. I have 2.5 semesters left. Very excited to finish. I went to high school in Cliffside Park. My background is Dominican. My parents are both Dominican, and I grew up here in New Jersey.
And very good. And you have a lot of friends here in Union City and family too that live in Union City.
Yeah, I have a lot of people in the area.
Very good. We try to keep this program about Hudson County and people that visit our city and go to school or have friends or families in the system. And you are bilingual, yes?
I am.
Spanish and English.
I am indeed, yes.
I know that you are a piano student.
I am.
How that happened?
So, I've always had an inclination towards music. Not only the piano, the drums, the guitar. I like to sing. It stems from my Christian background. I enjoy worshiping God. It's something that I do take joy in. But also, music intrigues me. And it's also, I use it as an escape, not only when I play, but I also enjoy listening to music as well.
Jesus, tell me something. You have other members of your family that are musicians, or they practice any instruments?
Yeah, so I would say it all started with my grandfather from my mother's side. He was a music teacher back in his town in the Dominican Republic. And also my dad used to sing, and he still sings. He sings in church now, but he used to sing professionally with a group. My sister sings. My brother also plays the piano, and then
It is in the blood.
It as well. It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. You consider yourself a good student in general, like a college student and piano student?
I do. I do. I consider.
So you dedicate a lot of time on that?
Yes.
Jesus, tell me your own opinion. Do you think students should have an extra curriculum activities after, could be college or after high school? It is important.
I think it's vital for students to have extracurricular activities, whether it be music, sports, art, anything like that, because it provides an escape for the student mentally, but also helps them develop time management skills and being able to manage how much time they spend developing whichever area they're practicing after school, but also dedicating enough time to understanding the material that they learned in school. So the time management, and also it provides a mental escape for the student.
That's good. In your case, you practice the piano. How you divide your time, like college homeworks, the church activities, family activities, girlfriend, I guess, so, and the piano, in piano and art in general, you have to dedicate a lot of time. It's time consuming.
Yeah, so the way I would go about it is I have a set time for my schoolwork specifically, depending how much I have to study, how much material there is that I need to cover. And I try to divide that equally so that I have time for other things. As far as church goes, I do play for my church. I play drums and other instruments for my church. So that also requires some time and dedication, aside from the schoolwork. So you have to figure out a balance on a weekly basis. It's not the same every day. It changes.
And it is a commitment that you have.
It's a commitment, yeah. It's a decision you make.
It's not only attend to piano lessons or to art or painting, whatever. It's a commitment that you have a responsibility to follow up with homeworks and, whatever the teachers ask you to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And I understand you said it before, you play in church, the drums, guitars, you can sing, you play piano, as along with your brothers and family. How do you feel playing for the church spiritually?
Spiritually speaking, well, worshiping has always been something that since a young age it's been you can call it maybe something I've been called to do, I'd like to say, but it makes me feel good knowing that I can give a little bit of what God has given me. I'm not holding on to any talents that He's given me. I'm giving them back to Him as an offering, so to speak.
Yeah. And nobody forced you to do it when you were younger.
No, I've always...
It is here.
I've always, taken that step, that initiative to put myself out there to have the opportunity to play.
Jesus, tell me something, and tell me the reality of life. When I was a piano student, sometimes, we don't practice enough. You don't have the time. Something happened that you cannot complain with, your practice. How do you feel when you come to class, to your music teacher, unprepared, for any reason that you couldn't practice? You sit down on the piano or whatever instruments you're studying. How do you feel at that moment?
It's always a dreadful drive when you're unprepared. And then when you are prepared, it feels great. But when you're unprepared, it's you feel guilty because you know that you weren't able to meet the standard that you're used to for whatever the reason is. But in my case, my piano teacher, he gives me a hand, and we make up for whatever I wasn't able to do, and we pick it up and we go from there.
You said something very important. You feel guilty.
Yeah.
Is it good guilty because you learn about responsibility? I mean, the fact that coming to any class in front of a teacher, you have to respect, or you should respect your teacher, and you should respect you as a person, as a student, because time is money, and time is
you don't get it back.
Important. You don't get it back. So, and that's good. Any recommendation to younger students to get prepared as much as they can? And it could be in not only in piano, in anything.
In anything. I would say, my mom always says, have things on a schedule. And I'm reluctant to follow that sometimes, but when I do, it works out very well. The number one thing I'd say is don't procrastinate. Because
do not procrastinate.
That's the worst thing you can do. Because then you'll say, I'll do it later, and later never comes, and you won't do it.
So I'm going to read this question because I don't want to forget anything. What is your own opinion about today's music? And I'm talking in particular, could be Latinos music, reggaeton, jazz, pop music, jazz. I'm talking about the type of words, the literatures that a lot of contemporary music singers or composers are using. Me personally, I don't find it the best cursing and singing. I will say not a proper language for the youth. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not too long ago, I'd say a good while ago, but not too long ago, I was somebody who enjoyed that music. I enjoyed mainly it was the beats, not even the chord progressions or the how complex the music was. It was more so the beats, because they would get me in a good rhythm, whether I would use them to use it as energy for sports or things like that, to move around. But then when you sit down and you really listen to the lyrics, myself, I didn't see that there was anything positive in them.
Nothing productive. Yeah.
Exactly. I think a lot of the music now, I think, incites violence. Sometimes it's violence, sometimes it's other inappropriate things. And I don't see what I can get out of listening to music like that as opposed to listening to other music.
And I know you have a lot of talent that you can write your own songs and create music and everything. Personally, if you have to compose or to record your first album and to write a new song for someone that will be singing, tell me the style that you probably will produce.
I would say I'm in between. I think I'd be pretty good at writing something that has to do with love, because it's something that's prominent in my life, whether it be my family, my relationships. I'd say I think a love song, like a slower song that would really touch your emotions.
Who is your favorite singer or producer or musician?
That's a great question.
You can mention 1, 2, 3 if you want.
I'm gonna mention, musically speaking, and how savvy they are with their lyrics. I'd say between Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars is also very good, and these two are fighting for third place. I'd say either Adele or John Legend. Certain John Legend songs, but more universally.
Okay. Do you listen to Latinos music? Spanish?
Absolutely, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is any difference that you find as a piano student between Latinos music and American?
So the Latin music uses more double meanings to their lyrics. So they'll say one thing and they do mean what they say, but there is also a second meaning.
We call it in Spanish doble sentido, double meanings.
Okay.
So you got to think about it, and this is
it makes you think.
That's a good point, because me as a Spanish composer too, that's the way, because we are listening any type of music, but for you it means something, for me it means something different.
So you get a wider spectrum of listeners.
Good. What do you think about Christian music or spiritual music?
I think in an ideal world...
And I ask you because I know that you are a very, honest person, always, on time in your classes, and I know your family, and you go to church, your dad, your mommy, your sister, your brother. I want to hear from you.
So in an ideal world, I'd say Christian music is the way to go and should be the only music that we should listen to, because the Bible says that music was made by God for God.
Amen.
So that being said, it's talking about God's sacrifice for us that He did on the cross for everybody, sinners and non-sinners. It talks about His love for us. It talks about a variety of different things. It's almost as if you're reading the Bible through the lyrics of the music. So it's edifying you at the same time. It's not just for your pleasure and enjoyment. It's also for your spiritual growth.
Jesus, anything that you could add to this conversation or this interview, if you want to call it like that, that we maybe didn't touch and you wanted to tell the community, the Dream City, Union City?
Well, before adding anything, just reiterate, I think that it is very important to for students to have something else, like an outlet, a mental outlet to have an escape to, whether it be sports, music, art, whatever. Something to add, I would say, is reading is also an undervalued habit
Important.
nowadays, and more specifically reading the Word of God, because that's the manual of life. That's the way to go, and it was written for a reason.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for passing by
My pleasure.
the Dream City, Union City, New Jersey. And this program is every Sunday at 7 p.m. We are here in Union City, New Jersey, a YouTube program with the intention to be very educational, informative. And thank you for passing by, Jesus.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You are a good person.
I appreciate that. I'd like to think so.
So as I said before, we had a very special guest tonight, Jesus Peña, a young guy who is very responsible, honest. He, do a lot of activities, go attend to college, do sports, play music, different instruments, and attend to church. And thank you for watching our program. I hope you can watch our program next Sunday at 7 p.m. Union City, New Jersey, the Dream City. My name is Kennedy Ng.